December is a month filled with family magic, and at the center of all of that is you. We see your efforts to create a happy holiday moment, and we know you have the desire to infuse the holiday with love. So to help you out and know where to put your precious time into those places that matter most at Christmas, Studio 5 parenting contributor Heather Johnson will help you see from your kids' perspective. She'll share what your children are hoping for, looking for, and observing this time of year. Welcome, Heather. You know, we have a lot of things going on this time of year, but you're here to really help us focus on what matters most. What do kids really want to see from mom and dad this time of year?
Okay, this is what they're looking for. First of all, kids are looking for all the rituals and traditions that we can possibly give them. They love that. So if you have always put up a tree on, the day after Thanksgiving, keep doing that. If you do gingerbread houses, keep doing that. Whatever you've done, those rituals and traditions, hang on to them. Kids love that. And it's interesting because this matters so much to them because of the stability and security that provides. So rituals and traditions, these things that we do, especially during the holiday season, these are these things that are repeated that have meaning and significance. That's what a ritual or tradition is. And so first and foremost, kids are desperate for that. They want all of those things to be there. They're also looking for us to make the atmosphere really festive as possible. You've probably heard your kids, and this isn't just little kids, these are teenagers, these are our adult kids who are in college and also married, who say, hey, are we putting up the lights? Are we putting up the tree? Where are those decorations that I've seen my whole life? They want an atmosphere that is full of the festivities, so they're looking for those things. They are looking for quality time, not just time spent or in the same room, but everyone doing something different. They're looking for us to make memories through quality time, and they're looking for surprises. So kids are desperate for surprises to be included, which is really pretty amazing when we think about what kids want, because they really want that stability and security that comes from the routines and rituals, the rituals and traditions, and they also want the novelty that comes from the surprises. So throw surprises in all over the place.
I actually think that's a very interesting correlation, that the rituals and things that they've always done come to this stability point. So if we do that, then they can feel stable even in this crazy time of the Christmas season.
Absolutely. It keeps that foundation really secure because it's predictable. They love that.
I love that. Okay, so what are kids watching moms and dads do this time of year?
Okay, so they're going to be watching how we treat other people. Their eyes are going to be wide open to that. And in particular, they're going to be watching if we treat others with kindness and generosity. It is a season full of that. We are often telling our kids, let's be kind, let's be generous, especially during the holiday season. So they're going to be watching to see, are my mom and dad actually doing those things that they say we should be doing? So that's actually a big one they're going to be looking for. They're also going to be looking to see how we manage stress, because there is a lot going on. So they're going to be watching to see, what does my mom do? How does she handle it? How is she navigating the stresses that come with the holiday season? They're going to hope that they're watching us learn and do more with connection than with stress. But they're going to pay attention to those things. And ironically enough, kids are going to be watching how we prep and plan for this season, which is something I think as parents we don't necessarily pay attention to and recognize.
Okay.
But they're going to be looking at us and they're going to be saying, how does my mom and dad, how do they navigate prepping and planning all that's going on to get it done, to execute it? And however they watch us prep and plan will most likely be how they do it. So if you think about that for a second, there's probably a lot of things you do in preparation the same way that you watched your parents do that.
Yeah.
So they will be watching to see, how do you prep for the holidays? How do you actually execute what's going on? But they will be looking for those things.
And you're such a big believer in leading by example. And this is another way to have those emotions in check, to be able to plan and prep and show them along the way. Okay, so what should parents be mindful of this time of year?
Yeah, we want to be mindful of a couple of things. One, we want to be mindful of managing our routines, and especially the routines that our families, but in particular our kids, are involved in. The holidays have so much fun and excitement and new to them, right? Different. So quickly, things that go by the wayside are bedtime routines and mealtime routines, ironically enough.
Yeah.
So we want to be managing those routines. Yes, nights are going to be later. Yes, there's no homework, and so they get to play and have fun longer into the night or with cousins or with whatever's going on. But we want to find ways for them to still get the sleep that they need and manage the routines and the food that they need. We tend to have lots of candy canes and sugar and treats. And so we're not sitting down for those things, and they're really important. So we want to watch out for managing those routines. We also want to make sure that we're helping them manage all of the processes that they're going through and all of the excitement that they're faced with, all the things that are in front of them, all the things that they're exploring and that they're negotiating.
Okay.
We want to make sure that they're in a position where they can manage and pay attention to anything that might be surprising or different for them. And we want to help them manage those different things also.
Okay.
So this is a space where we can look at those routines, where we can look at the surprises and the newness and the excitement and help them manage those things.
What's an example of what that looks like for them?
Which way? The surprises, the new?
Yeah, surprises and new.
Yeah, oftentimes this is things like expectations.
Okay.
And so we're going to help them manage those, whether it's a gift that they didn't get that they didn't know that wasn't going to show up right. And with this too, it's helping us manage our own expectations.
Yeah.
We come into this having so many expectations for what the season's going to look like on our end.
Yes.
I'm going to give kids certain gifts. They're going to be so excited.
Yes.
I'm going to be able to execute all these things, and they're going to be right on board and involved with me. And so we want to make sure that we're helping manage those expectations in us as well as helping manage them with our kids.
It's interesting that you say that. I have a 6-year-old who actually has. He's very anxious in the way that I have to explain certain situations. Like if we're going to go somewhere, we talk a lot about what it's going to look like, and actually managing those expectations. Actually, and it's dawning on me just having a conversation about sometimes what it looks like if we don't get what we want.
Yeah, if we can just tell them,
Yeah.
so that they know what's coming or
Yeah.
what they're headed towards.
Yeah.
That helps them, or even give them the tools. What do I do if that gift doesn't show up?
Exactly,
Right?
yes, yeah.
We just went through this. Our daughter was involved in just a little group of girls who all decided to do a Secret Santa, and so she spent 2 weeks getting her present ready for her secret, Santa who she was going to give to, and got there, and the girl who was assigned to her didn't bring her anything.
Oh, dang
Right? And so you have those expectations
Yes.
where to help her understand, how do we handle this and why might this have happened? And how do we go back the next day and be okay on the playground and manage the expectations when they didn't show up the way
when
you were
they
hoping?
didn't show up. That's such a good moment. Okay, Heather, where do parents finally put their attention during Christmas time? What are their priorities? I'm really interested in this one.
Because it's easy to feel like there's no way to prioritize. There's so much going on, right? So the first place we're going to do it is we're going to put our attention into the values that we actually say we want to live. It is really easy to let the pressures of a holiday season distract us and get us off track.
Right.
We want to take a step back and decide, what values do I subscribe to, and make sure our energy goes there. For example, if you believe in time together over the holidays or extended family, then we have to ask, is what I'm choosing to do, is that actually supporting that I believe in spending quality time with extended family? If you believe that this season is about a Savior or about Jesus Christ, it's asking, am I making choices every day these next 5 weeks that support the fact that I believe that that is the center of this season? We lose track of our values really quickly because there's a lot to try and fit in. And so we want to take a step back and do that. We also want to make sure that we are, again, putting energy into and our focus into quality time together. It is a beautiful opportunity to do that is untouched. And so we want to ask ourselves, am I putting time and energy into all of those things, right? And am I making sure that my focus is in our time together? We want to do that.
It's so good. And your last point is serving others.
Yes, we do want to put energy into that all the time. I mean, we do that all year, but there is an emphasis on this at the end of the year, where we say, this is a holiday season, are we reaching out? And again, our kids are watching how we're treating other people. And so we too want to step back and say, am I putting my focus and energy into serving other people? That could be our family, that can be our neighbors, that can be looking for needs, but they are around us, and this is a really good season to put our energy into it. It's a great place to focus.
Your words are always so good, and it does bring me back to why we're doing this, what this season is truly about, because it feels exhaustive sometimes when you just have so much going on. But looking at this list, it really puts everything back into perspective. Thanks, Heather.
We don't have to fit it all in, right? Just the important, the right things.
It's so good. Well, if you want to work with Heather personally, you can find her contact information on our website.